What's up, everyone? This is the Tin Man with the Worldwide Resistance Network. If you are watching this, you are the resistance. And welcome to TinaMan TV. What's up, everyone? Tin Man, Ruben, and Connor are all here on TinaMan TV. How about that shit? This shit is too big to just be contained to one motherfucker. We gotta go all the way across the country and even into Canada for this nonsense. It's just that damn big. And it's brought to you by Meth Monster Blue, the fictitious product that doesn't actually fucking exist because we are self-funded or crowd-funded. So, as always, if you like what you are seeing, by all means, hit the like and subscribe buttons and hit the notification bell to keep up on when we go live, because everything we do is live. Nothing is pre-recorded anymore because we are moving forward with technology, even though AI can suck my fucking nuts backwards and find me a fucking milkshake. Yeah. And also be sure to share the live feed and follow us on X, YouTube, and Rumble, all at Real TWWRN. And also check out our online store at Spring. The link to that is in the description of this video and also on our social media forums. But I want to throw it out there. What do you guys think? I hear good things about Spring. I have some friends who use Spring. But I've also had good experiences with Cafe Press, but reviews on that are kind of hit and miss. Different products are available at Cafe Press. Like, I got these bumper stickers made at Cafe Press. We don't have an official store with Cafe Press yet, but I wanted to throw it out there. What does everybody think? Should we go with Cafe Press or stick with Spring? I've got a poll on X at Real TWWRN. Go ahead and cast your vote there, whether we should stick with Spring or jump on over to Cafe Press for our online store and all of our fun little merchandise.
Are we using
Say again?
Are we using Shopify?
No, we are using Spring currently. Yeah. But I'm also looking. I am considering jumping over to Cafe Press because I've always had good experience with Cafe Press. I printed these up just last week, and they're already here. So, and as you can see, they're really good quality. So I'm weighing my options. I want to get a feel of what the audience thinks because it depends greatly on what products are available as well as the company's reliability and their reputation to actually, get the job done and produce good products for the customer.
Which one's
both, man? Both, bro.
They both are? Okay.
Well, I mean, we can do Cafe Press. I noticed has the bumper stickers and a few other things. I'm tinkering around with Spring, but I want to leave it up to the fans because I want to try to consolidate everything. I want to keep everything simple. It's like, oh, well, go here for this or go there for that. I don't want people jumping all over the place. I want to make sure that the audience can be able to find everything they want in one place, one simple location. Keep it short, sweet, and to the point, and accessible to everybody rather than having everybody go here, there, and everywhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
God, I'm just looking for I'm coloring.
You're coloring?
Yeah, so my daughter's got a belt test coming up, and part of the belt test is like, I'll hide my address here. It's it's what belt are you, and then what belt are you gonna be, and then like what belt is your goal. So I just colored that out for her.
Okay. Just a little FYI on that, and I'm probably going to get myself in trouble if I put this out there publicly. But if she's a black belt, she has to register her hands and feet as registered weapons, at least here in the United States. I'm not sure what it is in Canada, but you might want to look into that, Connor.
No,
so if you cut her off in terms of belts before black belt, she doesn't have to register her hands and feet as lethal weapons. And if she gets into a fight with somebody, it's not automatically assault with a deadly weapon.
Yeah, but if I don't register her, I can't get her ready for the Olympics. That's why she's in Taekwondo specifically, because it's an Olympic sport. Yeah, she's going to be a black belt like in probably like the next 8 or 9 months, honestly. Like, because she trains 10 hours a week. So she's kind of nonsensical, and she's a third generation martial artist. Like my uncle taught me, and then so you got my uncle, then you got me, and now you got her. And she's learning from the exact same grandmaster that taught my uncle. He's like 73 years old now. And it's pretty monstrous to see what she's doing. Like she went to a tournament, she brought home a gold and 2 silver. And you want to talk about ethics, fight ethics? I know this is completely off topic, and I apologize for that. But,
no problem.
She had the opportunity to do a kata, like a form. In Taekwondo, they call them pomses. So she did that one by herself. She got silver. She did one with the same form, but with a partner, like a synchronized swimming, but forms. They got gold. She did a breaking technique, and she brought home silver. And then she refused. She was allowed to spar, but she started when she was 5.5 years old. So her age category was all white belts. And she looked at me, she goes, I didn't come to the tournament to hurt white belts. And I told her, I was like, well,
that's kind of an unfair advantage.
Right. And I told her, I said, you're allowed to fight up. Like you have a parent that will argue that I'll put you up a class if you want to go up a class. And she looked at the class and she's like, that fighting class, all the friends that she trained with, like some of those kids were like orange belts and yellow belts, and she taught them how to fight. So she's like, I'm not going to get in the ring with them and take their gold medal from them. It's not fair, Daddy. I was like, so what are we doing? She goes, I'm not fighting. So I walked over to the participation medal table and I said, how hard do I got to work to steal one of them participation medals off that table? She's like, why? And then when I told her the story, she's like, well, if there's ever a reason for a child to have a participation medal, this is it right here. So she gave her the medal for it.
That is absolutely beautiful, man. That is beautiful.
Raise them right.
And the fact that you got your daughter out there learning self-defense, and especially in this day and age, especially with the issues with migrant influx, that's come with a lot of problems in and of itself, especially in Europe. I've talked privately with Louise about that quite a bit, and we've seen it in the media, the sexual assaults and the violence that takes place there. Women definitely need to be able to defend themselves, especially in a society that might be comprised of weak beta males.
Well, see, I have this very weird old school theology, old school reality where, in not so many sexist terms, young women should be forced to do 2 things in their life. Legitimately forced. And I know it fucking sounds mean. They should be forced to take self-defense classes to the bare minimum so they can at least throw a punch and at least have the overall idea of the mechanics of how a block works. I'm not saying go get your black belt, ladies, but I am saying train, have a little bit of fun, go meet some people, go out to the world a little bit. That's one. The second one is that they should be obligated to learn how to swim, because just like an attacker takes no prisoners, neither does the ocean. So when you fall in a body of water, can you float? Can you like your shirt, man? We all float down here. Can you float? Right. So that's a very real thing. And my daughter, she will know how to do at least those 2 things. Mind you, I'm going to teach her gardening as well, which is another like third you should be forced to learn how to do, is defend yourself, feed yourself, and know how to rescue yourself.
Yeah. And, to be able to hunt, garden, skin an animal, fish, prepare food that doesn't come in a box.
Right?
That we need to get back to that as a society. And, that'd be a great topic for us to cover in its entirety at some point. Tomorrow, I want to cover ancient remedies and whatnot. We joke about the meth monster, Blue, but I actually went out and picked up. I shouldn't say I went out and picked up. I went online and I ordered through the Alex Jones app some actual methylene blue. And we're going to try that tomorrow because it's supposed to help with your mitochondria, supposed to help lift the brain fog, increase energy, and give you clarity and focus. And, we're all getting older. We're not the spring chickens we used to be. So something like that could be highly beneficial to the body and to the mind. So we're going to give that a try on tomorrow's roundtable, just to see how I react to it. I mean, you can go on Alex Jones, you can watch the reaction of Roseanne or anybody else that's tried it on his show. But to have somebody of their own accord take it upon themselves to try it, completely independent of Alex Jones and an unbiased platform.
Oh, it's completely harmless. I used to work with in vet clinics. Like, do you know what we use it for? Like in a medical sense?
No, I do not.
So, most predominantly, I've used it with reptiles, and like how reptiles they shed their skin, right? They like once every so often. So it's unlike like human beings. So when they every now and again, you're gonna have an idiot that's gonna take like a live rat and throw it in with a snake, and then the snake's gonna turn around and kill the live rat, right? But every now and again, sometimes the rat gets the better end of the deal and bites the snake and does quick work on them. Like, it's pretty impressive what a rat can do when it actually bites.
And you put the methylene blue on the snake to
create a false scab. So then when the snake sheds its skin, it'll shed its skin, and it will also shed the methylene blue off. And then underneath where the methylene blue was, it'll be a little bit more healed, but very much like what would happen to a human being when you get a scab and you pick the scab, it'll bleed. So once the snake sheds, it comes off, the methylene blue comes off, and wherever there's still an injury that would require a scab to continue healing, you would reapply some methylene blue. That's one of the medical purposes that we use it in veterinary science. There's a piece of me deep down inside that's wondering, you know how like big pharma always pushes different things, right, to make money. We're not going to get into it into big huge things there tonight.
Well, we can get into that tomorrow. But wrap up your point.
So I'm having this weird feeling that veterinary big pharma, for lack of a better word, is finding a shit ton of off-label use, which just means that a prescription is created for a specific purpose. But if I use it in a lesser dose, a lesser concentration, it would also be useful in this other thing. For instance, Flagyl, it's a dewormer, but if I use it in a smaller concentration, it becomes an appetite stimulant. The off-label use of Flagyl is an appetite stimulant. So I think the vets are doing that with their drugs, and the humans are taking them.
Well, that's one reason why I want to cover a lot of this tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And
Epstein,
so we're going to go on 2 p.m. your time, man. You're 2 hours ahead of me? It's 6:15 here now. What time is it there, Connor?
It's 8:15.
It's 8:15. So at noon Central Time is when we will go live tomorrow with the Resistance Roundtable. But today's topic, since we're 15 minutes bullshitting, Jeffrey Epstein, man, and the Jeffrey Epstein email drops. Seriously, You know, first and foremost, these emails are just excerpts from everything that was released the better part of it, what, a decade ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the name that they redacted was Virginia Giuffre, or however you pronounce it. You know, wasn't she the young lady that was at Mar-a-Lago?
Yeah,
And
like
she got hit by a bus when
yeah,
she was to testify. Yeah, but now they're releasing these emails and redacting her name and placing victim as if people don't have a damn cell phone and can't look it up. I mean,
I've always said
it's ridiculous.
strongest supercomputers in the world. We use it to watch porn and cat videos.
Yeah, I know. We can watch porn and cat videos. We can, just as long as we're not watching cat porn.
Right?
But
Smoke.
so many jokes I can make right now.
Right?
But if we can look up that kind of shit, you think we can't look up? Oh, hey, are these the same emails from 10 years ago? I mean, come the fuck on.
People would know that. And of that amount of people, an even smaller amount of people would look at the timestamp to be sure.
Yeah, I mean, the timestamp was 2011 on that one email. And I'm like, why?
Because you know
why
what's
are you trying to bullshit on something, man? It's like, if you want to nail the guy, nail him on something real. I mean, if he's in the Epstein files for a legitimate reason, you know, like you're trying to insinuate, if you want to catch the guy's hand in the cookie jar, fucking show the photo where he's got his hand in the goddamn cookie jar. Don't sit there and make suggestions and rehash old shit that actually supports the notion that he wasn't involved and just makes you look like an ass. It's like, come on. If you want to hurt the guy and you want to help your credibility, you don't release shit that's going to have the opposite effect.
Well, I think something's coming out slowly. Now, I've only heard this once so far, so we're just going to keep our eyes and ears open. But apparently, Trump is in the files, but not in the files that people would consider. There's just an ugly story about him and Mr. Clinton, you see.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have heard that one yet.
Yeah, apparently.
Wait.
He blew Bubba. Apparently, he blew Bubba.
But here's the funny thing, though. I don't think very many people have realized that if I was Trump, I'd just go with it.
Well, here's the thing. This is coming from the pro-LGBTQ party.
So attacking.
Why the fuck do you care whether or not Trump had a dick in his mouth?
Because
you're the party that is pro-dick in the mouth.
This is why, though. Because if that comes out, and let's pretend just for this 10 seconds that it's true, every bad thing the left says about Trump is now homophobic.
See, again, shooting themselves in the foot here.
He would be the first openly gay American president, and the left wouldn't know what to do with themselves because that's their stitch.
Yeah. Like they're seriously shooting themselves in the foot here. And you know what a lot of people don't know is that, and you know, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here, but you know, if they're gonna nail Trump with anything, it should be, you know, the one damning thing that he is involved with this case is implementing himself as part of the cover-up when he tried to squash it. And then kept on about it to keep the hype up instead of just shutting up about it. It's like, if you want it to go away, just shut up, as Alex Jones would constantly say. He's like, just shut up. Shut up, Trump.
Because the Epstein files,
by my monster blue.
The Epstein files, they're covering like Charlie Kirk. The Epstein files is taking light away from people like Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so these people who are speaking outwardly against Israel, against Zionism, against everything we've ever spoken about. So we don't dig into it.
Yeah.
So all those
don't forget the ciabatta juice, man.
the ciabatta juice.
Yeah, the ciabatta juice.
Get that.
Okay,
Colder
so you were saying, Connor?
In essence, it appears as though all these people that are normally like against this and against that, so on and so forth, they're all being now clouded over with this Epstein thing. It's like Epstein is working like a real big umbrella right now.
Yeah, and you notice that this happened in almost immediately after the government reopened, and it was being insinuated that the Democrats just did the shutdown just to pass Proposition 50 and get the votes in the varying areas that they wanted. And, you know, since they got what they wanted, now they can reopen the government, like to move on. You know, it kind of seems like this is maybe a distraction from that and everything else that's tied into it, because there's lawsuits going on with Prop 50 now. There's a lot of problems with the allegations of election fraud.
Well, not just that.
What you were saying, the shooting.
Not just that though.
What do you got?
Some information that really blows the thing wide open here. Up north in Northern California, there's two tribes: a small tribe and a big tribe. Small tribe wanted to build a casino, and the big tribe was like, "Oh hell no! We don't want no competition." Okay, so
well, I mean, they've got quite a few casinos out there. Just in the Inland Empire, you have Staboba, Agua Caliente.
This is above the Bay Area tribes, you know.
Oh, this is more northern. Okay. This is the other side of the Bay Area.
So the big tribe has a monopoly, right? So they donated millions of dollars to Gavin Newsom's wife's organization, and then government talks to the Department of Interior and say, take a look at this and see what you can do.
Huh.
So they do, and they approve the small tribes casino. It is built. So what happened? Gavin Newsom is pissed because the big tribe gave him this much money to stop it, but the Department of Interior says, "Hey, go for it, build it." You know, hey, do it.
Oh, damn! See, and this is something I'm not seen anything about this. This is the first time hearing about this. But thankfully, you're in California. You're a little. This hits a little more close to home, so you're actually able to get a front row seat on this one. That's great.
So the big tribe is pissed. So now they got competition from the small tribe.
Huh. Yeah. The small tribe's going to be fucked. It's no different than what happens with the rest of the world.
And this is stuff I've not even heard of, and it's just getting swept under the rug. You know, no matter how small it might seem, these things can have a big impact. You know, another casino in California is a big economic factor.
Well, yeah, because those are money printers.
Yeah. Newsom, former chief of staff, got arrested for fraud.
See, that's another thing I hadn't heard of. I'm sure it's probably been out there, but I hadn't heard.
And two more from his staff also got arrested. Same shit.
Yeah.
Political fraud.
But yeah, we can't arrest Newsom for burning down the Palisades.
Oh, man, I've been looking into that more and more.
Oh, do tell, Connor. Do tell.
Well, it's been slowly there. It's just been slowly, but I've been noticing there's a whole lot of blue roofs in the Palisades that didn't burn.
Like Maui.
Again, another beat. But for those who might be tuning in, there is the conspiracy theory that when Maui went up, there was actually a beam of light that shot down from the sky, possibly a laser from a drone strike or even a satellite, but that it couldn't target anything that was blue.
Yeah,
Hence why a lot of structures and pieces of property that have a lot of blue, such as blue umbrellas on tables or Oprah Winfrey's roof at her estate.
entire
Didn't.
porta potties. I know it's stupid. Porta potties.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Like,
that would have just been shitty anyway.
right? That would have been a bad ending.
Yeah.
Right? So like,
Especially for anybody who might have been in the porta potty, that would have been a really shitty way to go. Pun intended.
I blame HARP though. I think they used HARP for it because it's
That's what I was alluding to.
Yeah, it's designed
the laser from a drone or a satellite.
Yeah, well, HARP is on Earth. It's not in orbit. It's a bunch of antennas on Earth in Alaska, and what they do is everything is done with varying forms of power. Okay, so the way that the science was explained to me when I was researching it, and I found the guy on YouTube explaining it, he explained that if you beam only 30 watts of energy, just 30 watts. Okay, this is what's powerful about it. If you beam 30 watts of energy into the Earth, it will create like vibrational frequencies down, and then when it hits natural gas, the vibration frequency will come back up, and it'll send like a sonar tone, right, like a dong. And then when it hits crude oil, it's going to send another sonar tone, a whole lot like bats and dolphins echolocation. You kind of picking up what I'm putting down here? So
sonar.
Yeah, so for like decades, and I mean like decades and decades, like 20, 30, 40 years, this is how they found natural gas and oil. And this was done with 30 watts of power, beamed straight down. Well, what they do with HARP is that they beam billions with a B watts of energy into the ionosphere. Now, if they dial that down a little bit, instead of it being billions, they can paint the sky. You know the blue spirals that people didn't know where they came from? When I say paint the sky, it's shit like that they can do with this machine at a lower frequency. If you put
they're just saying, you're saying they're drawing circles in the sky.
Yeah, they're drawing pictures in the sky, which is impressive all by itself. And then if you up it to the 1 billion, right? When it hits the ionosphere, this is what I think happened to the Palisades, shoots back down. And when it shoots back down, when it hits the Earth, okay, the vibrational frequencies that would come up from the Earth, the sonar sounds would be so powerful that it wouldn't just be a sound anymore, that it would be so powerful, because he was using a piano to demonstrate it. He explained that it would be so powerful that it would shake the whole piano, even more so that it would shake the whole house, and that the truth of the matter was that at 1 billion watts of energy fired out of the ionosphere straight down to Earth, that is enough energy to start an earthquake. Now, if you start an earthquake under the water, what does it look like? Tsunami, right? Oh, God works in mysterious ways, right? Can't blame human beings for bad weather now, can we? Or can we?
Or it might happen for Area 51.
Yeah.
Okay, let me explain. Okay, I remember this right when it happened. The whole entire week or 2 weeks. I was on a Rumble channel called So Sorry Charlie. He was showing this live feed, and it mapped out about California, where something came out of Area 51, and it came in through the winds, coming by winds and shit, you know. What caused the fires? Well, I shared that on my channel. It got removed 4 times. 4 times. Now, why is that?
Well, then you must have hit a nerve.
Definitely struck a nerve with somebody. And this was on Rumble, you said?
Yeah.
And
You know,
Rumble's
new
big thing is,
content
you know,
like
oh, we don't suppress information, but yet this.
I shared it
They
on my channel on YouTube,
Oh,
and it got removed 4 times by YouTube.
well, I mean,
Yeah,
YouTube's a bunch of jack-offs anyway. Owned by Google, you know, they're not
So
exactly the most people-friendly.
yeah,
Fucking YouTube used to be a platform for people to create their own content. It was designed for independent content creators, and they got hijacked by corporate. So
oh,
they
totally.
do you remember VidMe?
yeah, exactly.
They forced VidMe to shut down.
Yeah,
Right.
remember that.
Oh, they're all
And,
conglomerate.
not just that, but they also forced Quick to shut down. QIK. And
Yeah, I
I
remember back in the
remember
day, like 2014, it was this big scandal. You know, they were starting to demonetize people, and then 2017, 2018 came around, and that's when things really kicked off with, you know, the suppression and the censorship,
well, not just
and
that,
it was
but
getting
if you
kicked
look
off
at
the
July of
platform.
2016, middle of July of 2016, they started to purge channels, man. And about 3 or 4 that I subbed to, gone, man, gone.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised our channel is still up, especially with some of the things I've said in the videos that I've titled in certain vernaculars.
We're not popular enough yet. That's all it is.
I
There's
don't
just not
know.
enough
We
people
got
out there.
demonetized, and they flagged our videos even to this day. You know, up until a few months ago, I've had videos that we posted years ago, the better part of a decade ago, getting flagged.
Oh, that's a troll.
Well,
That's somebody going through the entire catalog and just ding, 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 ding till one sticks.
well, not just that. You did a documentary on you know who, and
Yeah.
he bitch and shit like they're doing a documentary on me. So
Yeah,
fucking
Well, you know,
what?
quit acting like a fucking bitch and trying to start shit, and I won't have to fucking decimate your ass.
pretty
I
much.
mean,
And
how
not
the
just
fuck
that.
does a guy who doesn't wear a fucking Guy Fawkes mask become Anonymous's best fucking friend?
Well, not just that, but it's like you were using the fair use doctrine when you did that 5-second footage of idiocracy.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember
Only
that.
5 seconds. Only 5 seconds. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
Yeah,
shit,
and by
man.
law, I'm allowed to use up to 11 seconds, and I can use more if it's for educational and research purposes or to illustrate a point.
Yeah, you could use the
But
whole
yet we
fucking
still
file.
got flagged numerous times.
What is that called again? It's like there's totally a word for that, like using someone else's content for educational purposes. There's a word for that, and you could
It's
use
called
the whole
free
thing.
use.
What is it?
Fair use.
It's
Fair
called
use.
free use.
Yeah, even my God.
I did a tribute video for Chester Bennington when he died, and I played a whole song from Linkin Park. Did he get removed? But I did a video on paranormal and shit. I played Ozzy Osbourne, See on the Other Side. Holy crap! Got
Got hit.
got a couple of hit. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? You know, like it's fair use, man. Fair use. Yeah.
Well, I mean, YouTube is supposed to be backtracking and scaling back on all that shit. Alex Jones tried to get back on YouTube, and within an hour, he was kicked off of YouTube again. So we'll see how YouTube.
That's why Rumble and BitChute are pretty much a better alternative to YouTube, man. Because I've been on Rumble for a good a year, almost a year.
Yeah, well, considering everything we do is live, I'm not able to do anything with Rumble until we've got at least 5 subscribers on Rumble.
7.
7 subscribers. So we need at least 7 subscribers to follow us on Rumble at Real TWWRN. That way we can stream everything through Rumble and get it out to all the platforms that way. Because right now we're operating through StreamYard, which
how I got to
distributes
where I'm at,
Facebook, X, and YouTube.
I would do a solo video on Rumble until I got 7 subs, 7 followers. And I did the live, you know.
I might do short little things that I can post directly to Rumble and get redistributed to X. I might do that, but all the same, you know, I want to be able to do live stream from StreamYard to Rumble to all the adjacent platforms that we use. But we can't do that until we have at least 7 subscribers. So
Yeah,
I
you need
see
to do
4
7.
people tuning in. Go follow us on Rumble at Real TWWRN, guys.
What happens if we like? No, I shouldn't even say that out loud.
Let's break the algorithm. Let's completely shatter and mind fuck Facebook, Google, and X, and just freaking bombard the world with a new info bomb. And just every time we go live, this shit gets shared. Everybody who watches this shares it to at least 10 people, and they share it with 10 people. Bada bang, bada boom. Chain reaction, snowball effect. You know, let's get back to where we were, because we were actually doing very, very well, especially in terms of the anonymous collective that we had as an audience. You know, we were doing fairly well back in the day.
Well, Christmas is coming, so Operation Human Angel will be re-effect. It is every year.
Yes.
This week, this past week, the Anonymous Republican Network hit 740 subs, man. 40 subs.
Nice.
Total.
Is that the one you're working on?
740.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Very good, Ben.
740. But twice, most subs I had one night, 24 subs in one night.
Nice.
So I've read comments in our videos about people getting upset about me smoking weed, but like legit medical, guys. Like legit.
Yeah, that's another thing that that you're probably not hearing too much about. This is something the coworker actually pointed out to me. I think it was the day before yesterday, that they're looking to federally start scaling back on CBD products and start criminalizing some of that to an extent.
Sorry, did you say decriminalize?
No, criminalize it.
Why?
I'm not sure. I'm thinking maybe some of the fentanyl integration might play a factor into that. Again, this was something I heard third party. They said initially thought it meant marijuana in general, but then I looked it up and it was actually CBD product.
Okay, that is not for the betterment and well-being of your citizen. That is for the betterment and well-being of your pharmaceutical company, which we'll get into tomorrow. But that's a. Do you know why I know so much about this? Is because that exact topic, that started every fucking thing for me. I wasn't John Connor until I got busted for fucking growing grass, guys. I was growing grass for my own medicinal purposes, and then I got busted, as people do. These things happen. You got to go.
Tell the story of what happened in court. Tell the story of what happened in court. This is the best goddamn thing I've ever heard in my life.
Okay, so I got from time to time, like you guys have seen them on YouTube, they exist. So I got a compassionate judge. But I got one of them like professional ones, right? So like he's compassionate to the cause, totally caught it. But he's still a judge, still has a job to do, right? So he's right, you know, okay. So now the prosecution, and I won't lie, I'll tell you exactly what it was. Okay, I had the informant did not lie to the police. It's just that the product was not on premises during the bust. So I had 250 plants, okay. And the informant brought that to the attention of the police. The thing was that the day the informant saw it, well, the day after, I sold 75 clones to one direction. I sold another 50 clones to another direction. I sold another 30. So inside of a day, I had sold the better part of what I had, so that when the police officers arrived in my home, there were 16 plants left. That was it. And I could hear the fucking police officer coming up the stairs, going bomb, 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 bomb. I was like, oh, he must be in charge. Where's my 250 plants? He said. Of course, I'm in handcuffs sitting on the chair, and I looked up, right? Because I'm not. Do I look like somebody who does not say what he's thinking? Right. So I look up at the fucking guy. I say, I ain't gonna find those here. And then, of course, every lawyer in the world will just say, just fucking shut up and put your head down. Don't say anything. Right?
Of course you did.
But of course I did. I was like, you ain't gonna find those here anymore. And he's like, clearly not. And I looked at him, I said, you don't have enough to make me look bad. And he's like, if I would have known that this was what was in your basement, wouldn't have even knocked on your door. I wouldn't have even came to bug you. But now we're here. We have a job. So now I get charged. I get all the good nonsense. I go through the ringers, and finally I come to trial with the judge.
Tell them the Bible story. Tell them the Bible story.
The Bible story. Which one?
The one where you used the Bible. The Bible.
Yeah. So I elected to swear on the Bible because you could do a solemn oath to tell the truth and yada yada yada, or you can put your hand on the Bible. So I put my hand on the Bible, and as I'm explaining what's going on to the judge, right? Because the judge is getting upset, right? Because the Crown prosecutor has presented. You guys know what case law is, right?
Yes.
So you have to be like, if I get caught doing something and I get 2 years and you do the exact same thing, according to case law, you should also get 2 years, right? That's how judges use case law, so that nobody gets treated favorably. But the problem was that I only had 16 plants, right? And the prosecutors brought 3 case laws, had firearms and chemical drugs, that didn't apply. Firearms and marijuana didn't apply. For copious amounts of marijuana and chemical drugs, again, didn't apply. They brought no case law that said marijuana alone. You could have said like copious amounts of marijuana, but for copious amounts of marijuana alone, no case law was provided. Judge got upset. He said, so you guys are telling me that I have to prosecute him and judge him today? And so he starts asking me questions, and then he said, well, why did you do it? And I looked at him and I said, because it works. And I put my hand on that Bible. And I said, last time I checked, you guys have to follow the laws that are in the religious text if we choose to swear on it. And he's like, you're right. I was like, well, in the Bible, in Genesis, it said that God made everything, including all the herbs and the plants. And he said, you're not going to. I said, you know darn well I'm going to, that he looked on all of it and said that it was good. And he's like, so what you're telling me is you grew your own medicinal marijuana. I was like, yes, sir, Your Honor. I said, the only thing I'm trying to make sure of is that I don't go away for 10 years because somebody's an idiot. He goes, okay, well, clearly, the judge, clearly they're idiots. And he addresses me by my full name because they can't even bring me case law for you today. I said, so how about you plead your case? You tell me, he's like, are you pleading guilty? I was like, I have to plead guilty. Did you see the pictures, Your Honor? He's like, yeah, I saw the pictures. I was like, so, I said, this is all I need you to understand, Your Honor. I said, if you can understand this, I believe I'll have a fair shake at the trial. He goes, speak your piece. And I told him, I said, how much does it cost for apples right now? And he goes, about, $3 a pound. I said, okay, and that's a bag that weighs a pound full of apples and apples only, correct? He's like, yeah. I said, so if I chop down an apple tree and that whole apple tree weighs a couple tons, I was like, do I transfer the value of the entire weight of the tree to my profit margin, or am I only weighing the apples? He's like, well, for your profit margin, as far as making money, you can only sell the apples. I was like, I'm glad that we agree, Your Honor. I was like, because these guys have me listed here with like 50 pounds of marijuana. I said, and like a solid like 40 pounds of it is dirt and stalk and leaves and branches. I said, they didn't even take it. I said, y'all didn't pay nobody to trim the plant and weigh only the buds. I said, you just threw a whole plant on a scale and called it a day. He's like, so you'd much rather not do time for the weight of the tree and only for the weight of the apples? I was like, I'm glad we understand each other, Your Honor. He's like, so in your defense, what are you guilty of? I was like, well, I said, this is how the math goes. I said, if you have 1 pound of wet bud, 1 pound of wet marijuana. He's like, yeah. I was like, it's going to lose 75% of its weight. immediately as it begins to dry. He's like, okay. I said, and then as I continue to start trimming and grooming and making it look pretty, I said, it's going to lose another 25% of the new weight. So whatever the new weight is, so whatever fucking 75, so about 250 pounds, 250 ounces, sorry, or grams, whatever the fuck, my brain is fucked. In essence, whatever's left after the 75% of a pound is a weight. And then that number, only 25% again gets deducted. So I'm showing him that at every step of the way, the weight is getting lower and lower and lower and lower. And he goes, well, how much were you intending to grow? I was like, about 4 to 10 pounds. And he goes, well, according to this, they're saying that like you had like 40, maybe more. I was like, and that's the dirt, and that's the roots, and that's the this. He goes, you know what? He goes, you said it was for medicinal purposes? I was like, yes, sir. I was like, and I can prove it. And I put all the doctors and everything in front of them. They swore up and down what they had to do. And he goes, well, I understand now. He says, he looks at me. He goes, sir, he goes, your crime isn't producing marijuana. He's like, you're not guilty of that crime. He goes, what you are guilty of, he goes, if we agree, he goes, producing medicinal marijuana without a permit. Like driving without a license or fishing without a license. He goes, you produce medicinal marijuana without a license. He goes, I was like, so how bad's it gonna be? He goes, well, I'll sentence you to 9 months because I have to sentence you to something. He goes, but you look like a smart guy. You'll probably be out in 6. And I was like, I'm just going to go in there, read my Bible, and behave, Your Honor. He goes, you do just that. You'll be out. And I said, I never want to see you again. Never saw the judge again because I never broke the law again.
But still, that was just absolutely brilliant.
But you just got to protect yourself and defend yourself intelligently and articulate your point. And everybody's afraid of a courtroom. But y'all don't realize that the courtroom is where you need to be. The courtroom is the ring where the fight happens. That's why we, as activists, we work on things that are called collateral arrest. Okay? Do you know what you would use collateral arrest for? Is when you want to sue someone, but you don't have the financial means to do so. So what you do is you do something to that person. Keep it small in scale. Don't go out there fucking hurting people. Petty vandalism. Something simple. Something that's going to make you catch a charge. Not a big charge. You just need a charge. Why? Because you're going to stand in front of a judge and he's going to ask you why you did it. And then you have an opportunity to explain why you did it. And that's open public record. And the other person, they now have to account, because if it's a whole lot like what happens if the rape victim kills the rapist kind of thing. It's like, why'd you kill him? Well, because he raped me. Oh, well, can we prove it? Yes, we can prove it, but I don't have the means to sue him for it. So that's what ecological activists do. They disrupt society. They get arrested so that the corporation charges them for disruptions so that they can countersue with a government-appointed legal counselor that they don't have to pay for. So now they got a countersuit going against the corporation.
They find a way to get in through the door without using a key.
That's right.
And
that's
for the record, WTRN and its adherents, such as Connor, myself, and Revan, do not endorse or condone or even remotely suggest that you go out and engage in any sort of acts of violence, vandalism, or any sort of criminality.
Yeah, don't be fucking messing shit up. I'm just telling you how it works.
We are just citing the legal loopholes. We are not advocating that you engage in any sort of criminal behavior. So don't dare go out there and say that TinaMan or Connor or Revan told you to do something, because we didn't, and we're telling you don't do it. And if you try to use my name, fuck you and the goddamn boat that brought you over.
That's right. And if you're going to listen to us and do anything that we actually say, participate in things like Operation Human Angel. Reach out to your neighborhood. Fucking
if you fuck up on behalf of our names, we're not legally responsible for your shit.
No, those are your personal choices. You guys can't hear. Okay, I was told that Americans and Canadians are reasonably intelligent. You can't just hear some fucking crazy Canadian man's ideas and go out there and hurt people and say the crazy Canadian man said to do it. But that way, you may as well just blame the voices in your head, bro, because that's all you're hearing me from is probably a headphone in your ear.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of which, your feed is frozen. We can hear you, but your face has been frozen for the duration of your conversation. Just so you know.
Better?
And now you're still frozen. You still look like this.
I feel like I'm hitting the bong.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I started explaining.
He got high and his feet got stuck. That's some good weed.
Right?
He got so fucking baked that his portion of the feed got stuck. That's freaking great. Right, but getting back to the Epstein thing, you know, that's just the wheat thing and the CBD thing. So we kind of got on that tangent. You know, that's just one of the things that isn't being widely publicized or covered. And I noticed that a lot of these activist communities say are kind of leaning pro-right versus an independent or unbiased standpoint.
I'm back.
I mean, and I've myself been accused of being.
I'm back, guys. Give me about 5 minutes.
Yeah, man.
That's fine. Go beat your meat, whatever. But
did my shit fix itself yet?
no, you're still stuck.
Oh, God.
Let me move you around. Let me see if
I'm broken.
Yeah, you're a broken man.
Just rock it back.
It'll fix itself eventually. But you know, these are things that we're not hearing about. You don't really hear about the CBD thing or the marijuana thing. It's just this focus on the Epstein emails. And again, Trump, the only thing at this point that you could say that he is legitimately guilty of, that we have evidence of, is implicating himself in a prospective cover-up. Now, Jones and even Trump's administration has said, okay, this was a roundabout deal. It's like, okay, you guys sit down, shut up, let me end the New World Order, and I won't crucify you with this shit. But then they turn around and do a double cross, is what the allegation is. And I think Connor just dropped off. And add him back to the stage.
Is it moving now?
You are moving!
Yeah, I'm not broken anymore.
Yay! But what I was saying is that Trump has implicated himself as an accessory to a cover-up, to the Epstein cover-up. That is one thing you can legitimately say he is guilty of at this point in conjunction to the Epstein files. Now, he allegedly made a deal with Democrats and other people on that list to say, okay, I won't crucify you with this, but you got to sit down, shut up, and stay the hell out of my way. But instead, they, despite agreeing to it, doubled down and are now rehashing this old email shit. And now Trump is saying, release everything, and all hell's breaking loose. And we now have this.
Well, here's a
Epstein files. It's happening.
Breaking news. House Oversight Chairman James Comer has just issued subpoenas in the Jeffrey Epstein case. Chairman Comer sent one subpoena to the Department of Justice for the complete Epstein files and more for depositions from former officials. Those officials include former attorneys general Bill Barr, Loretta Lynch, Eric Holder.
Hey, let's try that again. I don't know what the hell happened there. That was like glitched like a motherfucker.
Epstein files. It's happening.
Breaking news. House Oversight Chairman James Comer has just issued subpoenas in the Jeffrey Epstein case. Chairman Comer sent one subpoena to the Department of Justice for the complete Epstein files and more for depositions from former officials. Those officials include former attorneys general Bill Barr, Loretta Lynch, Eric Holder, and Merrick Garland. Also, former FBI directors Robert Mueller and James Comey, and both of these people now, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and her husband, former President Bill Clinton.
Well, what do you know, Bill and Hillary Clinton?
That's gonna be damn. See, the problem is that the
Did
Epstein
that play all right on your end? Because it was glitchy as fuck on mine.
It went perfect. I saw it actually played twice perfectly on my end. So,
Okay, because it was like super glitchy on my end. So
it's no big deal. But the problem with the Epstein files is that here's the thing. It damns both sides. There's people from both sides of the aisle that are found in it, whether they're large major players or not, right?
yes,
The Epstein files damage both sides. But here's the other interesting thing about it.
Keep talking. I'm gonna grab something to drink.
Yeah. Is this what it would look like when it came time to clean the swamp? Everybody wanted the president, Donald Trump, to clean the swamp. Ain't nobody out there that really looked at what it would look like. We need, without exaggerating the fact, okay, this is what's required for cleaning the American swamp. We need a large grouping of mass arrests of a lot of individuals that are involved in the child sex trafficking ring. Plain and simple. I don't care if you're a politician. I don't care if you're a celebrity. I don't care if you're the fucking creepy Uncle Joe down the street. If you're involved with that form of organized crime, there's going to be a large mass arrest. It's kind of a requirement. So where would we find a list of people that would lead to mass arrest? The problem with what we're looking at here, and I don't mean to be so alarmist, but this is, unfortunately for the world, this is how large this issue is. This is what it's going to look like outside looking in, okay? Is that the Epstein issue is so large, it encompasses so many people, it involves things like child sex trafficking, so it's quite wow to begin with, right?
Yes.
And when we send people out there to do the mass arrests that are required to address a situation of this magnitude involving this many names, it's going to look like the Night of the Long Knives all over again.
Yeah, it's basically a RICO case.
Yeah, it's typically like, this is the kind of shit where thousands of people get black bagged at the same time. That's some scary Nazi Gestapo shit. Like, that's why this is being played so carefully. This is not a situation where anybody can afford to be wrong because of the optics. Oh, it's
yeah. Yeah, everything has to be controlled and spot on, and there can't be any room for fuck ups. And that's where we get our next issue is, will the DOJ actually do their job, or are they just going to sit on it?
Well, that's what I was like, as you left, I don't know if you heard my opening statement, but I was saying, I was like,
I did.
Is this what it would look like? Cleaning the swamp. Is this what it would look like? Like, what steps, what legitimate real world, real life steps would need to be required in order to do what President Trump promised, as in cleaning the swamp? And why the American population thought it was going to happen overnight? Like, bros, this shit's not a movie, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's real life.
Yeah, and
I think to clean a whole swamp is you got to really get down to the fucking nitty-gritty, man, right down to the root.
No, the swamp's got both sides.
It's not just the United States. It's something that goes into Canada, Mexico, South America, Europe, Asia,
Exactly.
Africa, everywhere. There is nobody who's not been involved in the globalist cabal. We focus a lot on Israel, and even Alex Jones picks on us for having a Jew button. Don't hate the play. I hate the fucking game. Don't be mad because I came up with the idea first, bro.
Hey, Israel's paying $7,000 a post. We're doing this shit for free.
Yeah.
Like I said, support the broadcast by sharing the feeds, subscribing to our varying platforms, X, YouTube, Rumble, and check out our online store. And also be sure to vote on where you want us to have our online store, whether Cafe Press or StreamYard, or not StreamYard, Spring, and help support the broadcast because, you know,
I
the
just
more
had an
help we
idea.
can get, the bigger we can make this.
I just had an idea. And it's so
I want
absurd.
to make this all encompassing. I want to make it so that Alex Jones can safely retire, and
And
we
we're
can
gonna need
continue
money to
on the
do
fight
that.
in his stead.
And I think I
What
got
do you got?
away. It's so stupid. Okay, so I don't even think it's gonna work. But it's just like sometimes I have good ideas, sometimes I have bad ideas, and sometimes I'm just really not sure. This is that time. Okay, so we joke about it all the time, and people, I'm noticing people are hearing what we're saying and they're reading what we're writing because I'm seeing what I've said and what I've written, copied and paste places. Okay, every time I see a blatant pro-Israeli post, I normally call it out as a very well put together $7,000 post. You see, so I'm thinking like the ultimate fuck you as to like demonstrating to them, to the world, that like they can pay people $7,000 a post to say nice things about Israel. But what happens if people decide to come to a GoFundMe account and donate $7,000 to us in retaliation to every post that they've read? So like the thing is that, and I'm beginning to realize this, and my mind,
And who would you suggest donate that money? This
so
is gonna be
this
good.
thing, I'm going to put this out there because somebody may very well reach out to you, Tin Man, and be like, you know, he's not completely stupid. I just been holding back because I don't want to be a moron. There's this thing about rich people. Rich people don't invest into bad people or bad ideas and so on and so forth, right? Like they like to make money. They don't like to lose money. They would prefer to make it. And then I've come to realize that like rich people have opinions too. Rich people that like, right? So who would out of their fucking blue just drop $7,000 on the Worldwide Resistance Network as a donation, as an absolute fuck you? I don't know. But what I do know is if someone that actually has the pocketbook, that actually agrees with what we're doing and how we're doing it and so on and so forth, and actually sends a donation, you can screenshot that donation and you can use it part as a clip as they're paying activists $7,000 to say nice things about Israel, but now we're collecting $7,000 donations from the general public as a retaliation. Oh, you want to spend money on these people to prop up propaganda? You know what? I got a bank account too, and I see these nobodies, and I'm going to give them $7,000. And maybe there's another guy that's got that kind of money in their
kind
bank
of a big fuck you to George Soros.
I've already got on my channel's description on the bottom. I have my PayPal and my Cash App. If you want to donate, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think once we reach so many subscribers, we can enable donations. Our X account is verified. So I think once we reach so many verified subscribers, we can do things like monetization again on YouTube and on X, and also on Rumble. And on X in particular, I think we'd be able to then enable a donation feed. I see donation feeds and links on varying X channels. So that is something I will have to look into.
I got something for you to look
if you want to
into.
support the Worldwide Resistance Network, by all means, we could definitely use the help. Before I can even think of integrating Rumble into this, because right now, this is actually a cell phone. I got a cell phone on a little tripod.
You and me
But
both.
what I want to get is a laptop and a mixing board and mics and whatnot, because I've actually got a nice little setup going here to where I can actually have guests. I can do multicam and have guests here on the couch and have a microphone system set up here with a mixing board. I can do a lot. We can do a lot more.
Oh, dude, you can have a whole segment
if
called
we have the
Ask the
capital to
Crazy
do it.
Canadian.
Yeah, but I need a laptop. I need a mixing board. I need
All the pieces.
I need the stands, the microphones, the mixing boards, the whole 9 yards, and that shit don't come cheap.
We got to find a
No.
way to get on the stock exchange and become the next GameStop, because that's what GameStop. That's what GameStop did to the stock exchange. People just started investing in it and then like using GameStop to like rig the stock exchange.
Well, not just that. They used what was it? GameStop. They used BlackBerry. They used AMC, and and you had these huge hedge fund guys putting money in, and yet they lost money because the little guy went after the small, less amounted stocks, and a mom got some stock for her son who's 15 years old and shit, and they're like, I mean these are the rich guys, like that's supposed to be ours. What the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
But the little guy cashed it, basically bought it, and you know, and made money. You know.
Yeah, and this isn't some get rich scheme. Like right now, I'm forking out all the money. Everything you've seen came out of my pocket. Connor ain't paying me shit. Connor's barely surviving it himself.
Well, fuck, I'm already a terminal patient.
paying.
I'm just saying my shit before I die.
Yeah, this banner here, this is an actual banner that I had made for about $60 out of California.
One of my friends made that a long time ago, just through a simple app, but it turned out so fucking nice. And then I sent it to you. I was like, yeah, this looks nice.
Yeah, the banner I had made, the bumper stickers to promote, you know, put it on my car. And anybody else who wants one,
right?
You know, my friends and family or whatnot, I can send them bumper stickers. You know,
I have an idea.
Everything you see came out of my fucking pocket.
When I get my car,
Hey, you think somebody else paid for that green screen? No, I paid for the green screen.
When I get my car, I'm gonna brand it with links to my channels here, and on the door, on the car, it'll have a Guy Fawkes mask, and it'll have the links around the mask of our shit.
He's just gonna get his car wrapped. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna get his car wrapped.
Make a QR code for your stuff, right? Everything that you have. Okay, this is gonna sound weird, but like take all your links and whatnots and put them on one document, and then make a QR code of that document, right? Yeah. And then put that on one of the lower corners of your license plate area. So every time you piss somebody off and they take a picture of your license plate, the QR will snap them to all of your stuff. But yeah, instead of putting actual links, put QR stickers, reasonably sized, nothing fucking ridiculous. There, don't ghetto your car out. But like nice little square, kind of like an inspection sticker on a car, we'll say. And people take pictures of it, and it links to everything you have. It's totally Infobomb like 101. As just now the QR sticker is a thing that exists that didn't exist before.
That is fucking genius.
That's why dude, they're not all good ideas, but every now and again they fucking fall out. Anyway, I gotta let you guys go. I got the
This guy ain't my boss, but you know what? When he's got some good ideas, he's got some good ideas, and I'll roll with them.
Right. You just do what you got to do with what you have, and then we move forward as we go. But I swear, I don't know who, but at some point, someone with money is going to be like, I'm tired of this. Like these nobodies. Yeah, they're not nobodies anymore. We're just going to elevate. We're going to make them the media now. Why? Because all this shit's fucked up. We're going to take these guys. We're going to have Tucker. We're going to have Candace. Get a couple of other guys. Get some Alex Jones in there. Put them on the table. Could you imagine us, Alex Jones, Candace Owens, and fucking Tucker Carlson sitting at a table? That would be a horrible. The whole world will go to shit. And you can bring Nick
the anti-view. We'll call it the anti-view. All of us, Jones, Candace Owens, you know, throw Andrew Tate in there just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
And whoever else is out there, you know, we'll all just get in a freaking big round table. We will get a big freaking King Arthur round table thing
The
going
royal
here, and
Yeah,
it was the Knights of the Round Table.
the
We
royal
would be
round
the anti-human.
it would be all of the big talking heads inside of one podcast.
Yeah, and that's our big fuck you to the View.
Yeah. The View. We'll just call it the Vision.
As ideas give birth right here on the show. Fuck the labor pains. We just bypassed it, just shot the kid out across the room.
Right. All right. I'm gonna let you guys go, and we'll pick this up tomorrow. Maybe people have questions.
And me and Reverend, I'm going to keep going on this for a little while because there's still a few more points to cover. But have a good night, Connor. Reverend, just you and me now.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
I mean, Hillary and everybody's fixing to get indicted now. You know, I don't know if you got to see it, but it's all coming out now. Trump said, go after, release everything and go after these motherfuckers. And Hillary and Bill are at the top of that list. Now, here's what gets me, and I noticed that Jones really hasn't talked about this. He alludes to it here and there, and maybe I missed something, and maybe he has talked about this, and if I'm wrong, do correct me, and I will apologize. But
Hillary has
stated many times in the past. Hold on, Reverend. I'm sorry to cut you off, but hold on. Hold your thought. Okay. If Hillary has stated many times in the past that if she goes down, she's taking half, if not the majority of Washington with her. Now, I have said it many times. I don't understand why they didn't go after her first, considering she'd pretty much be the singular piece that topples over the Jenga tower.
Exactly.
So I don't know why they didn't go after her first, but the fact that they're going after her now, with her having said that years prior, what does tomorrow hold, as the saying might go?
I think she has really put her foot in her mouth up to her taint. Because, like, what you said about Gaddafi, we came, we saw, he died.
Yeah. Right?
She was involved in that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she was involved in a lot of things. She quoted many times about how she got a child predator who was guilty of, child rape is bad enough, but the things this guy was accused of were just atrocious. I don't even want to get into the dynamics of that. If you want to look it up, if our audience wants to look it up, look up that case and view the details of what this guy did to this poor girl. Be my fucking guest, but it's so messed up. And she laughed about knowing this guy was guilty and still defended him again and all of that.
Well, what was that? It was mentioned on CNN, and Ashley Cooper said, well, there's evidence of that. We don't have it. But yet, the woman said, it was mentioned on your show before.
Yeah. And there's video feeds of it out there throughout the internet. In fact, like, the only thing you really can't find on the internet is the death of Owen Hart. That is really the only thing you cannot find on the internet. The only fucking thing you cannot find on the internet is Owen Hart falling from the sky and snapping his neck on that turnbuckle.
But
everything else you can find easy, but you can't find that. That is the only thing on this planet you really just cannot find.
But yet you can find news of Charlotte Flair, Paige, Major Guns.
You can find anything on the internet. That'd be like the only thing you can't find. And if you could find, if by some miracle you could find that, just imagine what else you could find if you actually looked for it. I'm not saying go out and
50 years ago,
look up something illegal.
I mentioned this last year, and again this year. 50 years ago, Christine Chubbuck, 50 years ago, she took her own life on live TV.
Yeah.
And because
I believe there are some feeds of that still out there.
There is, but it's somewhere where
it's very hard to find. Yeah,
she
she
was
was
good
always
at her
gonna find it on
craft.
YouTube.
She's good at her craft, and she was serious. Like Dorothy Kilgallen. Okay, Dorothy Kilgallen, legendary journalist for women reporters and journalists. She raised the bar for women reporters and journalists so fucking high. Not even Barbara Walters, Jane Pollock, Kater Couric, and the rest could not wear her loafers. Why? Because Dorothy Kilgallen, after Kennedy was shot, she did the first ever jail interview with Jack Ruby. And she was investigating the assassination. And in '65, she died mysteriously.
Yeah, a lot of people die mysteriously when it comes to
But
government.
she raised the bar so fucking high for female journalists and reporters that not even Jane Pauley, Barbara Walters, Katie Couric, Diane Sawyer, none of these bitches could ever reach that level.
Yeah,
Because
nobody
she
can really hold
raised
the
the
candle to
bar
her.
for her. Yeah. And if you raise the bar so high in journalism, good luck. Good fucking luck.
Yeah, especially considering most mainstream media news outlets are just fucking regurgitated jokes at this point. I mean, that's why I
Christine
strictly
Chubbuck.
maintain
Oh, yeah.
independent. Why I encourage people like Jones and whatnot to
Christine Chubbuck,
remain
50 years
independent
ago,
and not be politically biased. Like, I understand he needs Trump to succeed because, you know, if the globalists don't fall, then he's fucked, along with a great many other people. So I get where he's coming from in that. But, you know,
there is,
he
yeah.
does show a little too much bias for my liking.
Yeah.
I understand why, but I think a lot of people are concerned that, you know, he's kind of gone from independent media to just straight up he gets stuck with that bias stigma. And I know he's not trying to be biased, but he's kind of put himself in that category.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to get hit with that stigma regardless. So I think if he wants to avoid that stigma, he needs to get back to where he was in terms of independent journalism, unbiased.
Exactly. Stop with this. I'm gonna command out. Stop that shit. Stick to what you did way before. No. Say 2010 is no. All this shit was predicted right after what because Christine Chubbuck, before she died 50 years ago. She worked for an affiliate out of Florida, and they go, we're gonna sensationalize the news. Broke her heart because she was a serious journalist and reporter, very serious. It's like so she wrote a script for herself that was not even approved, and right after she read it, boom.
Yeah.
Took her life. Because now the news 50 years later had been sensationalized.
It is. And it's very sad. And that's why I encourage everybody to do their own research. But it's going to be interesting to see how things are going to play out, and especially with the mainstream media. You know, how are they going to address this when everything that Hillary knows comes out, or when bodies just start piling up of these witnesses just start piling up, because they're going to have, if the FBI does not produce the actual files of these crimes and who did what, then they're going to have to go and lean on witness testimony alone.
Half of the FBI, half of CIA are flipping.
Yeah, at which point is it really going to be far-fetched to suggest that we're probably going to see a lot of witness tampering, a lot of witness threats, and maybe even quite a few deaths of witnesses under very questionable circumstances.
Yeah.
Now, again, I'm not advocating anything. I'm just saying,
I have a feeling,
based on history, this is where I see things going.
I have a feeling that we may see a repeat from the early 2000s. And let me explain. Okay, half of the CIA, half of the FBI just completely flipped. And
yeah, well, even now they're still compromised because it's from the Bush, Obama, and Biden administrations where they put their people in there.
I have a feeling that a few of them are going to mysteriously die.
Some of the higher ups in the FBI and DOJ and CIA.
Yeah, I have a feeling because they flip because finally we have some good news here. But how good of news is it? Is it legit or is it just bullshit? You know, if it is legit,
those guys know a lot of shit, and if
it's legit,
decide to play ball to save their own ass, they might just get a suicide shotgun wound to the back of the head.
Yeah. Best bet, if I was one of them, I would go into hiding.
Yeah.
I mean, like, dude, what? I'm gonna live with Mom a little bit. I mean, it's like, you have all this information, and it's like you have a security clearance.
The more you know, the bigger the bullseye on your back.
Yeah, exactly. And like, was it Bill Biddy? He worked for this NSA guy. I mean, the guy was a military guy. A lot of posted legs and shit. Married to a pretty gal. What was that guy's name? Former CIA guy.
I don't know.
He said that the CIA don't trust Mossad. They're not our friends, you know. They went after him.
I've been saying that for years.
They went after him because allegedly he blew the whistle. No shit, you know.
Yeah.
And then one guy he worked for the NSA too, and he helped create that that secure messaging app called Wicker. No longer around, it's gone now. Yeah, I was feeling a few people are going to mysteriously die. Mysteriously, you know.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is something that the attorneys in charge of this need to be taken into account of, and the authorities need to be taken into account. Because, you know, maybe these people need to be placed in the witness protection, though I'm not sure how much good that's going to do. Other than, you know, isolating them and making them a more accessible target, maybe. I don't know.
There's a place here in California.
I mean, Epstein wasn't even safe in his cell, so.
Yeah, there's a place here in California. It's been abandoned for years. And I will watch these videos on abandoned places where people go and do that urban shit. And this was created by the guy that founded Kaiser Permanente Hospital. He also owned Willie's Jeep. Willie's back in the day. And he spent $27 million on building this housing project back in the desert and shit. Good idea. And I say this, I'm thinking this would be the best place for anybody who wants to be off the grid and also in protection, custody, you know, where, you know, and off grid. I mean, all the way to go off grid is that you got to give up your smartphone, all your shit. You know, go analog. You know, go full blown analog. You know, and I think it's best to go analog anyway because the thing is, this here, my phone, it's been de-Googled. Okay, I bought it earlier this year. It'll be a year in February that I got this thing.
Yeah.
I had to go and take the plunge again because the phone I'm using here is a Samsung Galaxy A12 Android. You know, that shit. So the Graphene OS phone here, pretty much it's an operating system that's been installed because the Pixel phone is very advanced, more advanced than Android. I very much highly recommend you get the phone.
Yeah.
Got the Pixel, yeah, it's a good Pixel, but it's also de-Googled, and you can install or get it already installed with Graphene or Linux or Linux or whatever, because these OSs are pretty much crowdfunded in a way, you know.
Yeah.
And the app source is F-Droid and Aurora. You know, what Aurora is, you can get the same apps that you can get on the Google Play Store, easy. But F-Droid, all apps are sandboxed, open source. No. What? Where? Well, hold on.
Well, getting back on point, because I know you probably got to go soon.
Before I go, let me finish here. Highly recommend get a Google Pixel phone with a Graphene OS on it. Installing it, the power's back in your hands, man. Back in your hands.
So. I know you got to go, so go ahead and handle what you got to handle, unless you can stay a few minutes.
I gotta go, man.
All right. Well, I will check you later. I'm going to go ahead and close things out here.
All right.
Have a good night. Thank you for joining me. Peace out,
Cool.
brother.
See you, man.
Good. All right. So, in closing, I would have to say, as far as the victims and anybody in the DOJ, FBI, or even CIA who is involved in this case that could be used in terms of as a witness, for lack of a better term, I would have to say that Spam Bundy needs to get on point and have these witness testimonies documented and recorded before anybody has an opportunity to unalive any of these witnesses or anybody who has critical information. You know, this is way too big to just let slip through the cracks. You know, I understand due process and all that, whatnot, but just to be on the safe side, get everybody's witness testimony documented. You know, have the DOJ or somebody from the DOJ sit down with each one of these people and get a documented witness testimony from everybody involved, whether they be the victims or somebody from the Department of Justice, FBI, CIA, whatever. If they got anything testimony worthy and evidence to present, get that on the record. Before anything has a chance to happen to anybody, document. Because if you don't, you're going to flounder this whole thing, and then Spam Bundy, you just have made yourself a bigger ass than you already have. That's all I got to say on that. Beyond that, I'm kind of curious to see where this whole thing goes with Trump saying release everything. I'm kind of curious to see what all's going to come out who's going to get implicated in what, and just where this is going to go in general. And that's really all I can add here, honestly. So, on behalf of Connor and Revan, thank you to everybody who tuned in. And as always, you are the resistance. You are part of the conversation. I've noticed we had quite a few people on the feed coming and going, relatively 5 to 6 people throughout the duration of this episode of TinaMan TV. People are always welcome to join in the conversation. The comments are enabled. We would love to hear from you, get your thoughts and opinions, and even after the episode is over, keep the conversation going. Share your thoughts on what's happened thus far with the Epstein files and the investigation. Where do you think it's going to go, and how do you think everything's going to play out? By all means, share what you think. Because again, you are the voice. This is about you. It's not just TinaMan, Connor, and Revan, and whoever else is the Worldwide Resistance Network. No. The resistance is everybody who is willing to take a stand and speak up and share their voice, share their thoughts, share their peace of mind. You are the resistance. So on behalf of Revan and Connor, thank you to everybody who tuned in. Thank you all so very much. If you like this video on YouTube, like and subscribe to us, hit that notification bell, follow us on YouTube, Rumble, X at Real, TWWRN, and also check out our online merch store at Spring. Again, let us know if you want us to stay on Spring or go over to Cafe Press, or even if you have a suggestion of someplace better, right? I want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to get the best products at the best price, no problems whatsoever. So do let us know where you would like the online store to be. And regardless of where the store is or where it winds up, check out the merch. We've got the Charlie Kirk merch that we did. We've got the TWWRN logo, the Flower of Life logo that we did. We've got the No Strings merchandise in counter protest to No Kings. And we've got more merch to come, depending on what store we're at and what type of merchandise they offer. So go check that out. It's definitely a great conversation piece. You get a Worldwide Resistance Network shirt, or you get a bumper sticker. People go, what is Real TWWRN? What is Worldwide Resistance Network? That's a good door opener, a good conversation starter. And then you can start sharing all sorts of information with people and wake up your friends, your neighbors, your family at Thanksgiving. I know they say don't have those political conversations at Thanksgiving, but if you can get one person woken up and going, holy shit, this is how the world really works, then you've done an amazing work in this world. So again, on behalf of Connor and Revan, this has been TinaMan TV. I, of course, am your host of TinaMan, your White Rabbit, having taken you down the rabbit hole in a good way today. And that's all I really got to add. So, you're watching this, you are the resistance.